Lawyers for the St. Johns County teen accused of killing his classmate are bolstering his legal defense ahead of the high-profile criminal trial.
15-year-old Aiden Fucci's legal team is also asking the court to put parts of the trial process behind closed doors. News4JAX reporter Joe McLean went through the requests made.
It's been more than a year since 13-year-old Tristyn Bailey was killed. She was found stabbed to death on May 9th, and the very next day, her classmate, Aiden Fucci, was arrested and charged with her murder. Months later, Fucci's attorneys are now asserting his full slate of rights, telling the state he won't be voluntarily providing samples of hair, blood, handwriting, or any other type of sample. He refuses to sit for a polygraph test or meet with a psychologist or minister without a lawyer. And he refuses to have any of his belongings or his home searched. Defense attorney Mitch Stone is not affiliated with the Fucci case, but said these moves are pretty routine for a murder defendant.
He doesn't know what to say. He doesn't know how anything he may phrase may be misinterpreted or may be used in a way that wasn't intended to be used. So the better practice is never to allow somebody who you're representing to have conversations with anybody about the case unless you are present. And that's my rule of thumb across the board.
Fucci's attorneys also want the pretrial process and the jury selection to be handled behind closed doors and not allow news coverage of them. Stone says one of the concerns of a defense lawyer is how cameras might affect jury candidates.
If somebody realizes that maybe they're going to be on the news that night for what they say, they may not be open and honest.
In response, a group of news outlets, including News4JAX, filed a memo opposing that demand. Ed Burke serves as the local station's First Amendment attorney. Basically, he helps protect our freedom of the press. He says Fucci's argument isn't very strong.
Courts all across the country, every day of the week, pick juries with cameras in the courtroom. And it doesn't, cameras are ubiquitous. They're all over the place today.
Because cameras are never allowed to show jury members' faces or reveal identities, the argument of news outlets is that there's a greater need for trust and transparency in a major case that rippled across the First Coast.
That's exactly the reason. The public needs to trust what goes on inside its criminal courts, in civil courts too. The public needs to know that decisions are being made on the proper basis, on the law and on the facts, not on politics.
Joe McLean, Channel 4, the local station.
And this is an argument between the First Amendment